Ladies and gentlemen, this is EB2K, aka that Jolly Rancher, aka Pretty Ricky, what they call me, and aka the original king of receipts. I welcome you to my channel. Today I will be exposing just Pearly things and her partner in crime, Blessings. It seems that the both of the two have created this silly scheme of trying to trick YouTube and their viewers with bogus views. Have you noticed Pearl's consistent emphasis on her number of subs? She touts her 1 million plus sub count as some form of standalone achievement. But here's the problem. Most savvy YouTubers know that using sub counts as a viable measuring stick of YouTube success is just not credible. The advertisers of YouTube and AdSense pay for views. They do not pay for sub counts. So Pearl and Blessings look foolish trying to sell this, hey, look at my million plus subs propaganda. The sad part about it all is that Pearl and Blessings know that they are coming up short on views. They have 1.5 million subs, but can only attract less than 10,000 views per video or short. So to make up for this huge shortcoming, Pearl's producer's Blessings takes her content and makes hundreds of short bullshit clips. I've actually counted the number of uploads in a day, and it ranges from 30 to 40 uploads a day. If you look on the screen now, I show an example of the number of shorts that were uploaded in one day. Now that's called flooding the YouTube algorithm, and it looks pathetic and desperate on the part of Pearl and Blessings. Now Blessings should be ashamed of himself in regards to the fact that his only real talent is knowing how to take a pile of shit content and create shit appetizers. His ability to make hundreds of itty-bitty videos is the only reason he is the only African left on Pearl's staff. In this video, we will take a look at comments made about Pearl by some of her viewers. And lastly, I will present a previous example of how Pearl's flex of sub counts had very little influence in a real life situation where she failed at promoting one of her colleagues. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is EB2K, the king of receipts. Let's get it. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, if you look on the screen now, you should see an interesting comment by one of Pearl's viewers, a YouTuber by the name of Foundry Made. Okay, and the comment reads as follows: the tour of the egocentric monstrosity of an outbuilding they refer to as a shed really put a lot of Pearl into perspective. She has all these dumb ideas and no fear of failure because realistically, failure is and never has been consequence for anything she does. No matter how bad she fails or falls on her face, she'll never be broke, she'll never be homeless, she'll quite literally never have to worry about anything ever. Her dad built what is essentially an apartment building to make sure neither her or any of her siblings ever have to worry about failure as an option. She is out of touch with her viewers because she's out of touch with the world. She's literally part of the 1%. So what the hell could she possibly know about any red pill topics? Her parents, and by proxy herself, are agents of the Matrix. What she is doing goes beyond grift. She's literally just some rich girl playing pretend with daddy's money to an insulting and disgusting degree. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, if you look on the screen now, you should see a copy of a discussion in my discussion forum, one of my videos where I go back and forth with a viewer who's actually a supporter of Pearl, who makes the claim that the reason why she has low views is because she's being shadow banned. Okay, and I call bullshit on it. But let's go ahead and let's see what he wrote first and how I responded. So Funzy101 says, she blatantly is shadow banned, just like most of the manosphere, or whatever you want to call it, the tape lot. My alt channel had over 1,000 with just comments. Sad, really. Okay. So, like I said, we go back and forth. I'm just giving you the highlights. So I responded to Funzy 101. I said, I'm sorry, sir, but your math ain't mathing. Pearl has 1.5 million bogus subs and is underperforming in views. That's it. No other YouTuber in the manosphere has this much discrepancy in subs and views. You need to stop looking for excuses for Pearl and call a spade a spade. In my video, I show how Pearl begged her bogus 1.5 million subs to go and sub to the channel of her colleague, and she only got 700 responses. That lack of influence ain't got shit to do with being shadow banned. Okay? And I also responded a second time. And I said, he claimed that I denied shadow banning. So I replied back to that. I said I didn't deny shadow banning. My point is JBT, Just for the Things, is also underperforming. Other YouTubers in the manosphere that are also being shadow banned have a fraction of her sub count, but much more views than she. So that ain't just shadow banned with Pearl. And I said again, in my video, I show how Pearl begged her subs to go sub for another colleague, and she got 700 responses. That lack of influence ain't got shit to do with being shadow banned. Can you please explain that? Today, I will address the YouTuber Just Pearly Things and the endless abyss of hot mess that she currently finds herself in. Just Pearly Things' YouTube channel is going down a rapid decline, and it's primarily due to the huge missteps that I have reported over the last 2 months. As a recap, let's review a summary of those missteps. In the past months, Just Pearly Things has invited the controversial racist Nick Fuentes on her platform for an interview where she did not push back on or defend against racial remarks from Nick about the Jewish Holocaust or slavery in America. Pearl even added to Nick's racist narrative by claiming that slavery was a myth and overblown. She then doubled down on this notion on her own show, where she tried to brainwash a young black girl about the history of slavery being over-exaggerated. Now, as a note, Pearl ironically has an all-white management team, but she has a working staff of disadvantaged Africans that have unfair contracts, where she gets 70 to 80% of their revenue from YouTube in exchange from production costs. These missteps by Pearl that seem to have an obvious racist pattern to them have raised the eyebrows of her former viewers and fellow YouTubers in a negative way. If you look on screen now, you can see graphs that show an obvious dip in Pearl's YouTube activity in views and new subs for the month of April and May. Pearl's average monthly views and average new subs gain have gone down by half since March of this year. That's less than 3 months. The gag of all this is that ironically Just Pearly Things considers herself to be successful when she is not. Pearl prides herself in touting the number of subs she has gained, when most experienced YouTubers know that using the number of subs as a gauge of YouTube performance is really a misnomer. For instance, Just Pearly Things has 1.5 million YouTube subs, but she fails to bring in less than 10,000 views per video. Now listen, that's pathetic. In this presentation, I will also show you a real live example of how Just Pearly Things tout of using her number of subs to help one of her colleagues to get new subs had very little to no value at all in the real world. In essence, it seems like Just Pearly Things is kind of living in La La Land, if you will. Her dad got her that apartment in London that was also used to operate her YouTube platform. Her dad is now giving her his whole office outside of Chicago, where she can now operate her YouTube channel here in the United States. Now listen, in this video, Pearl also shows off her dad's personal family facility where she plans to host her own YouTube events. Yes, Pearl is definitely using her dad's money to float her unsuccessful YouTube operation so that she can then pose as if she is successful. In this presentation, I will show you where Pearl's dad's money is coming from. And then I will show you how Pearl intends to use it all up. Well, all right, ladies and gentlemen, this is Ebony Man 2K, the original king of receipts. Let's get it. Today, I will be reacting to a recent live by the YouTuber Just Pearly Things. This past week, Pearl decided that she would help promote the YouTube channel of one of her underlings, Amari. The goal was to entice viewers to sub to his channel to reach a goal of 1,000 new subs so that he could qualify for monetization for YouTube. Now, the weird part about this live is that Pearl and Amari decided to hold the audience hostage and not speak on the show's topic until they reached their goal of 1,000 new subs. Listen, man, this was a straight up shit show. A straight shit show. Pearl and Amari first start the show off laughing and grinning about this stupid ass stunt and threatening viewers that they will stall the show until they sub to this dude's YouTube channel and reach 1,000 subs. Now listen, Pearl's attitude was extremely condescending and off-putting, especially with her expressing this notion of how successful she is. I, of course, questioned that notion and wonder, how does she define success? If you look on the screen now, you will see a photo of her during the live stream where she's coming to the realization that she will not reach 1,000 new subs for Amari, and this stunt failed miserably. Now, that does not reflect success to me. I don't know about you. It seems to me Pearl can talk the talk, but she cannot walk the walk. Also, if you notice in the pic above, I named her the White Tasha K. Now, the reason I named her the White Tasha K is because both Tasha and Pearl are known habitual liars, and they are both delusional. They share the same number of subs at 1 million, but they both can only produce views per video in the thousands. Now, this proves that the boasting of sub counts is an inflated and irrelevant stat. The game of YouTube is about views, not subs. YouTube monetization is based on video views. That's why this stunt on inflating subs for Amari made no sense at all if he doesn't have the views to go with it. Now, in this video, I will first let you listen to Pearl's cringe intro to her live. Then I will follow up with photos that show the slow progression of failure in her 6-hour live of begging for subs.
What up, guys? Welcome to the Just Pearly Things YouTube channel. Welcome, Amiri, to the channel.
Wait, first piece of someone got
You know, I heard you got fired. That's what they said.
Yeah.
The fake news media, right? The fake news.
I'm fired, bro.
Yeah, a lot of fired by that's what all the fake news media reaction outlets are reporting. So we have beef now, apparently, right? Now.
That's why we're coming to me.
Now, guys. All right. So today, I need to get Amiri monetized. All right. So if you want us to react to Abba and Preach, I need you guys to go subscribe to Amiri's channel. We'll sit here all night. Well, you got time?
I got time.
I got time today. But what I want to talk about is how certain reaction channels, I won't name names, right?
Right.
We won't name names, but they don't care about the truth.
Nope.
They don't care about what's right and what's wrong. They have their certain lens on how they see the world. They have their certain ideology, and they got no point. They just like to argue.
Yep.
What do you think?
They're fake news, man. Do I look cute in this?
You know, you're looking swell looking.
Good for some smoke.
Yeah. Let me. All right, so make sure you guys go subscribe. I'm gonna pull this up on my phone. Blessing, it'd be nice if one of these days we could get like the chat on the screen.
You can do it right now.
I see. I see. We can.
Oh, you just what was his left?
Where?
It's good.
Oh. Oh wow. Wow, we're so good at YouTube. All right, guys. Can you throw these away?
Yeah, man.
Can we do a malt? Or can I get a water too?
What's the Pearly team saying, man?
Yeah. So, 140 viewers. Guys, make sure you go subscribe to Amiri's channel. Our new talent, right? We're very selective in who we pick for these amazing contracts. Reported by fake news networks with no evidence or proof. But we're very selective who we pick. And Amiri has been one of our stars on the show for months now. He was on one of our most viewed episodes. And we always want to give back to the people that help us out. He's also one of our top recruiters. And he's a big supporter of the network. So we want to get him to 1,000 subscribers. And then we'll react to all of the fake news. All of the fake news that has been going on around here. Look at more fake news. They say you have a gun to your head. Look, yeah, you see.
Wake up and smell the coffee, man. Delusion.
They're just as delusional as these modern women.
Bro, you told their fans to come in.
Alright, we got 270 people in here. Now guys, remember, we're not going to start until Amiri gets to 1,000 subscribers. Now, I know this might be petty, but he's at 197 subscribers. So the ad is in the description. The ad's in the title. The Fresh Prince of Zamunda. I don't even know what that means. But we give our talents creative freedom here, right? Do I not?
Zamunda.
Zamunda.
I'm gonna make her.
Zamunda.
I'm gonna make her with so much fun.
Zamunda.
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 Say Munda, like Bunda.
Munda.
Yeah.
Manda. Yeah, so...
Hey, that subscription's going to me. To my channel.
Let's not get carried away. Let's see, he's got 198 subscribers. But we could sit here all night to address all of the fake news propaganda.
It must be done. It must be done. Listen, I'm not saying to necessarily force, like, putting in a headlock to subscribe.
I am putting them in a headlock to subscribe. You know what I mean? Like, we can just end the stream and just chill here. Yeah, so we make music here, do we not? We will do stairs, we'll run, they're boxing today. There's a lot of stuff we could do.
Yeah, you need to get them on the...
What do you mean?
You need to get your channels, right?
My chat is on. Oh, you mean like so they can see it?
Thanks.
Yeah, I don't know how to do it. Do you know how to do it?
Yeah, I don't know. Because giving them full access to the chat, mate.
This is 212. This is 212 for his channel. Guys, we'll be here all day. Now, why did I invite Amiri to this? Right? I could have just addressed the fake news by myself. But Amiri was brought into this by reaction channels that are just trying to spin a narrative, that believe what they believe regardless of the facts. The same reaction channels that would paint Kevin Samuels a negative light by watching clips and not watching the full show and spinning a narrative without knowing what they're talking about.
I'm going to blow a fuse at 1,000 subscribers. Let's get it.
But, we don't work for free here. We don't work for free. So what we need to get Amiri to 1,000 subscribers.
Beautiful, it's going up. Thank you, guys.
What are we at?
They want to see some spice.
Now, the app for Amiri's channel.
Would you be interested in collecting 5-figure paychecks for a few hours of work, helping me in your spare time from home? I'm on a mission.
Is the fresh? Yeah.
They want to see some spice.
Now, the app for Amiri's channel is the Fresh Prince of Zamunda.
Zamunda. She said it wrong on purpose, Zamunda.
Zamunda. Munda. What's it from? I don't know.
Coming to America.
What's that? Is that a movie?
Yep.
Thank you, Gail. Gail is everywhere.
I know. She's actively enjoying it. Yo, actually banned me from eating on my stream.
She banned you from eating? You can eat on my stream.
I know. That's what I'm saying, man.
Yeah, so... Yeah, here at JPT, we don't work for free, which is why we need to get Amiri monetized. We need to get him monetized yesterday. So, once he's monetized, we will answer all questions.
Yep.
I really think that's a fair thing. We can answer all questions and talk about fake news media. Fake news media. Guys, can you imagine making a whole hit piece having never watched a full episode? Can you imagine making a hit piece admitting that you did not watch the full episode?
Do you know?
Against a friend. Can you imagine?
Fair use, is like if you're doing like a news report. So as a reporter, you're supposed to like get all your facts and all your information in order before you even consider turning on the camera.
And look, we know mistakes happen. We expect mistakes to happen, but when it's not corrected, when there's no effort to be biased, when there's no effort to tell the facts of the case, tell the real story, that's when we have a problem here at JPT, and we have been taking notes.
Hey, I'm watching you. I'm watching the chat guys, I'm watching the chat guys, bro. I love my JPT chat guys, man.
Now, guys, again, we're at 228 for Amiri. 228. Do you know how many watch hours you need to be monetized? I actually don't know.
4,000.
4,000, all right. We'll work on that. that later. We're gonna get the 1,000 subs first.
I'll get that quick.
Yeah. We just need to get you your base. Now, guys, why subscribe to Amiri? Well, I don't know anybody. I don't know anybody as creative and entertaining as him. No, seriously, this man has gone viral before he even had a channel. He's been on many of the most watched podcasts. And tell him what you would like to talk about on your channel. Tell him he has a finance podcast coming soon.
Yeah.
Tell him about what type of content.
So listen, so basically my podcast is going to be based on like finance for the layman's. You know, for the guys that don't know. I'm going to get some money in your pockets. I'm going to aim to keep it in there. I'm going to get some of the best finances, the best mergers and acquisitions. We're going to get the best day traders. We already got them lined up. You know how we work.
How we work.
Yeah. So that's that, man.
Now,
If you want to get your stocks up, check me out. If you want to see me blow a fuse, check me out.
now, there's a lot of questions in the chat. We do reaction channels. So how are we different than the fake news media? That's a fair question, right?
Yeah. I think I'm so unbiased to my own detriment. That's what I think.
Well, it's all about going into things in good faith. It's all about looking for the facts of a case and not just spinning a narrative.
These guys know, man.
You know, for example, I would hate to say that a certain someone has no life experience when I've just been sitting in my room reacting to shit for 10 years.
Shots fired.
No, I don't name names here.
Shots fired, man.
You know,
Hey, shout out, man.
I would hate to say that you should always attack the argument and never the person, and then call someone a bitch, a dweeb, and a weirdo. Isn't that quite rude?
Yep.
Now, is that someone that's objective, that's looking at the facts of the case?
You're giving them too much.
You're right. I'm sorry, guys. I'm giving them too much.
Too much. Free.
Yeah, you're right. Go subscribe to Amiri's channel, and we will give you the facts of the case. And this fake news media. Fake news. Well, what are we at? Let's look at what you're at. Now, guys, when we get him to 1,000 subscribers.
So now that we've heard Pearl's intro and explanation of this live, let's look at the progression and the body language of Pearl and also her guest as the live went on. Now remember, this live was 6 hours long, okay? 6 hours long. So let's start at the very beginning, okay? Here you see them shinning and grinning and kikiing. You know, they keep saying, we got time today. We got time. We got time. We know, we're going to be here for a while. We don't have to start the show until we get 1,000 subs for Amiri. Okay, let's see about that. So this is the beginning of the live. This is them cracking jokes and talking about how easy this is going to be to get 1,000 subs for her colleague. So let's see how this goes. So this is Pearl's body language later on in the live, maybe I would say maybe 15, 20 minutes in, you know, and she's kind of noticing that things are going a little bit slower than she thought. Okay, so let's see what else happens later on. Okay, as you can see later on in the live, I would say maybe an hour or so in, Pearl starts to noticing that things are going way too slower than she thought, and she looks like she's starting to have some concerns. As you can see, she has a worried look on her face, and rightfully so. Okay, here you can see Pearl is obviously frustrated. She starts fumbling around with the computer and playing around with the keyboard because she cannot believe how low these numbers are. They're nowhere close to 1,000 subs that she promised. Oh my God, now. Y'all look on screen right now. That's Pearl. That's Pearl right there to the right. Yeah. Old Miss Successful is officially defeated. Look at her. She looks a hot mess. Oh boy. And here, Pearl officially quits the live, y'all. Her goal was to get 1,000 subs for a new colleague. And she spent 6 hours begging people to sub to his channel. And they only got up to like 700 subs, y'all. 700. So yeah. She boasted and bragged about how she definitely going to get 1,000 subs. And they weren't going to start the live until they got it. That was 6 hours ago. And they never got it. So Pearl officially quit on her colleague, huh? Okay, Miss Successful. Like you a quitter to me.